I know what you're thinking. Another American heavy. Well, you're not wrong. Rochester is basically a cloned Baltimore, but with smoke screens. And since it's a premium, it's better, right? Let's look at the differences to start. Baltimore, the Tier 7 American heavy at the tech tree, has radar and heals. Rochester gives up both of those consumables in favor of a smokescreen generator and DFAA. Stats-wise, there are plenty more differences to note. The guns. Baltimore has faster shell velocity with her armor-piercing shells, so she's going to hit targets easier with less flight time, and the Balti guns just barely have a longer range. Otherwise, the guns are identical. Both have super heavy American AP shells, meaning they have improved penetration angles. Moving on, Baltimore has marginally more health, slightly better heals, 20 meters better turning circle, a 3.5 second faster rudder shift time, and is a full 1.5 kilometers more stealthy. Rochester, for her attributes, she has better AA. It's one of the best at the tier, and she is half a knot faster than Baltimore. Unless there are some hidden stats that I do not know about, these are the only differences I could find, and it paints a pretty damning picture of Rochester. Nevertheless, if you were to buy her and build her, focus on turret traverse, acceleration, concealment, and a faster reload. I would personally set her up with Shelley Beepley because that seems to be the best American heavy cruiser commander in the game. Victor Einstein would be a close second, but if you're free to play, a full DPM build with Norm Scott would do fine. Play to the strengths of the ship with range, fire, damage perks, and fully packed for more consumables. Muller and McCowell are my go-to inspirations, as always, for cruisers, but runner-ups could include Concealment, Concealment and Smoke, Reigerwald, or Membeli. The good parts of the ship, well, she's healthy enough, a little above average, and has what I would call a solid armor scheme, being mostly resistant to 15-inch guns and smaller, with a well-hidden citadel. Heals, they're very average, but remember, if you want them, you're going to be giving up about the only thing that makes Rochester unique, her smokescreens. The guns are solid enough like we talked about. The DPM is below average as most heavy cruisers are, but the American super heavy AP shells are still phenomenal. Just be prepared to lead your targets a little bit more than Baltimore. AA is Rochester's best feature. She has the best AA DPS, as I have it figured, at tier 7 for the cruisers, and it's made even better by the fact that it deals max damage all the way out to 5 kilometers. Speed is average, turning circle is average, rudder shift is bad, and concealment is absolutely terrible for an American cruiser. It's worse than the Uchizov, Mines, Prince, Hipper, Peabag, Siegfried, and I think you get the point. If you are playing Rochester, she's an American support cruiser just like Baltimore except without heals, so you won't be repairing fire damage or getting health back from early game health trades. She's really better when played from the safety of cover, whether that be an island or her own smoke generator. One important thing to note about the vaunted smoke generator, the smoke firing penalty on Rochester is 9.1 kilometers. That's 2 kilometers worse than Wichita and the Baltimore, even though they have the same exact guns. Oftentimes, this smokescreen will be absolutely useless, especially if there is an enemy destroyer close by. Not just because you might get torped in your smokescreen, but because you're going to be detected most of the time when firing in smoke, unless you're just at the back of the map. This smoke is useful, I would say, when you need to escape a situation or go dark to capture an objective. Otherwise, play Rochester just like you would another American heavy cruiser, except without radar. The final verdict. At the end of the day, Rochester is still basically a Baltimore, albeit a worse one, but still, it's a tried and true ship, and it's going to perform well when played like an American heavy. You're going to be relying on blue team much more than Baltimore, and it's more of a passive gameplay style. Want to hunt down that enemy destroyer? Perfect. I bet your smokescreen's going to be pretty handy for that. It's the same reason I would say Atlanta is better than Flint. Radar is more useful than smoke. The conversation of whether or not you should buy Rochester, to me, ends with Plymouth. She has her smoke, she gets to keep her heals, she has better sonar, insane AP DPM, and torpedoes, not to mention some of the best concealment at the tier. Alternatively though, if you really like the American heavy cruiser playstyle, the Wichita from Wish.com was also in the store for the same price and is so much better than Rochester I won't undignify the Wichita with a heads-up comparison. In a division, Rochester could be interesting, as you could set up long-duration smokescreens for teammates, as long as you have a good DD screen and spotting. Overall, I'm giving Rochester 2 out of 5 stars for being worse than her tech tree sister in every way that really matters, and being worse than other tier 7 premiums currently for sale for the same price. The only reason Rochester gets 2 stars is because it's still a solid artillery platform with a solid armor scheme. And the smokescreens can have some unique utility when it comes to objectives. If you found this video to be helpful, please hit the like button as it greatly helps the channel out, and be sure to subscribe for future videos. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.